Hello, and welcome to the McTaggart Attack Podcast. I'm Kevin McTaggart, and in this episode, I'm talking about how writing has really helped me out. How journaling, I guess is what it's called, has really helped me out in my life, and especially lately. And I talk about a recent experience I had writing down some deep, dark stuff that had been bothering me for a while. And I hope that anyone that listens to this, it helps them out too. Who knows? But mostly I do this podcast for me. So, anyway, if you like what you're going to hear, go ahead and hit the like button on the video and subscribe, rate, and review if you're listening to it, or subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of me talk about stuff like this, or listen to me talk, however you're watching or listening to this. I don't know. But anyway, I put my heart and soul into this episode. Someone called it a testimonial in one of my other episodes. So I'm like, I guess this is a testimonial because this is me telling about something from my life. So I hope me saying about something from my life helps somebody else's life. I'll feel better. Let me know if this episode helps you out by contacting me one way or another. Anyway, here we go. I've been doing a lot of personal development over the past almost 2 years now. I think it's been since the beginning of 2019 where I've been listening to self-help podcasts. I think this Naked Mind was the first book I actually listened to help me stop drinking. I don't drink nearly as much as I used to, and especially now during the pandemic, I don't drink at all. I think I've had 2 beers since this pandemic started. And I've watched a lot of YouTube during this pandemic. And I think I was watching the Ella Ringrose YouTube channel. And she was talking about journaling, and it got me to thinking, I used to write down stuff all the time, write down in notebooks. I have a bunch of notebooks laying around my room that I've written in. I used to write jokes in them too, but now I write my jokes in my phone. But I was watching hers and she was talking about journaling, and I'm like, wow, yeah, I kind of miss writing in a notebook, because I'll type stuff down on my phone or on the computer, but to me typing stuff doesn't really do anything for me. I don't know, I can type down joke ideas and then I won't remember it or whatever, and it won't mean anything to me. But I used to write stuff, write with a pen, a pen. Where's the pen? A pen. I used to write stuff down on paper with a pen. In notebooks like this one. And I was watching her YouTube channel a couple weeks ago, around the New Year, and she was talking about journaling, and I'm like, yeah, I want to write in a notebook again. I miss writing in a notebook. I do. So I did that, and I've done that somewhat consistently. I don't do it every day, but I do it. I try to do it. I try to write stuff down, because to me, writing stuff down with a pen and paper resonates better for me than it does typing it in my phone. I think I'm going to stop. Well, I'm probably going to still put notes in my phone, but I'm going to write them out on paper from now on. Specifically like jokes and stuff. I think I'll do better writing jokes. I remember more when I write something with my pen instead of I type it with my fingers on my phone. You know? It's just me. How are you with that? What do you prefer to do when you write stuff? Do you prefer to write stuff on pen and paper or type it in your phone, you know, or a computer or a laptop or something? Leave it in the comments or email me or message me on social media or something. I don't know. Comment me however the fuck you want to comment me. I don't know. But one other thing Ella talked about was something called shadow work. And that sort of resonated with me too. I don't really know what that is. I think it's just like dealing with like problems that you haven't really wanted to deal with. That's what I'm taking it to mean anyway. And I've had something that's been bothering me for a couple years now. And I used to work the longest job I've ever had was for 9 years at the local hospital that I work at, doing prior authorizations. And that started in 2009. In 2015, my department got outsourced to a different company, Conifer Health Solutions. And a lot of my coworkers that outsourced with me, that transitioned over, like, we never like left our desks that we had at the hospital. We stayed in the same place. It was just we were getting paychecks from someone else. And this should have been like the first red flag. Like, almost everybody who came over left to go somewhere else, mostly back to the hospital in the different departments, within the first year. And I should have like realized, oh, I should probably leave too, but I didn't. I stuck around. I'm loyal to a fault sometimes, and it's annoying. And I stuck around, because the pay was better. The pay was better, honestly. That's the only reason I stuck around. But then eventually, I realized that the pay wasn't enough. The pay being better wasn't enough for me to leave. I'm sorry. The pay being better wasn't enough reason for me to stay. Especially when the last year and a half of my time there, we had a new director who came on board, and she was horrible. She created a hostile work environment, and we had a team lead who was horrible too, and they fed off each other. It seemed like they fed off each other to see who could be worse. And like, I always wanted to like speak my mind to them. I've always hesitated when it comes to speaking my mind to people. I've gotten better at it in recent years, but like I never got the chance to like speak my mind to them when I left there back at the end of 2018. I was happy when I left there. But it sort of didn't feel good when I left there, because I still had like this leftover resentment, this leftover stuff that I needed to say to them. Like, I wanted to mouth off to them so bad. I wanted to tell them how I really felt about them so bad. I wanted to like get it off my chest so bad. I think I've even talked about it in a podcast last year, I say now, 2020, that you can check. It's one of the episodes from last summer, I think. But even after like venting into that podcast, it still didn't do any good. So like, I was talking to my current supervisor late last year, and she suggested, why don't you just write it down? Like, that's a good idea. And then, like, I hadn't had time to do that. I don't have time to do it. I'm working full time, and I'm putting out a podcast episode every Monday through Friday. It's hard for me to make the time to do that. And then I've listened to Ella Ringrose's YouTube episodes, and she talks a lot about journaling and that shadow work stuff that I talked about earlier. So earlier this week, I finally took the time to write down some stuff. Like, I wrote to them. I wrote to those two people that I was referencing. And I wrote stuff that I wanted to say to them. Most of the stuff that I wanted to say. I got stuff off my chest by writing it to them in my notebook. And after I was done doing that, I felt like a burden had been lifted off my shoulders. It just felt so good to get that off my chest or my shoulders. You know what I meant? I just felt like I removed something that had been gnawing at me for years, and I wrote it down. And I've felt so much better the past couple days since I did that. Like, oh my God. So, like, just like writing it down, writing them letters, sort of. It wasn't really an official letter, you know, but I just, like, I spoke to them. I wrote it as if I was talking to them. And it just made me feel so much better to get that off my chest. I should have done that so long ago. Like, I want to go and, like, write down all their stuff that's bothering me now. That's what I want to do. Like, writing stuff down on pen and paper feels so fucking good. I want to just do that all the time now. I think I'm going to do that instead of surfing the web. I need to start writing things down instead of checking my Facebook constantly, or checking TikTok constantly, or checking Twitter or Instagram constantly. By the way, follow me at McTaggart Attack. Yeah, it just felt so good, and it's been a few days. It's been a few days since that exercise took place, that writing exercise took place, and it just, I still feel great. My God, it felt so fucking good. I haven't felt this good in years, honestly. Like, my God, like, I teared up after I finished those 2 paragraphs. I wrote both of them about a paragraph. I got enough off my chest to where, like, I got stuff that I just needed to say. I was mean. I was nasty. I said what they did, how awful they were, and it felt good to get it off my chest. Some of you who are listening to this might know what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about. If you want to know who I was talking about, you can message me, and I'll let you know. But it just felt so damn good to get it off my chest. I can't wait to get more stuff off my chest and feel even better. My gosh. So, yeah, it was such a great experience that I think that I need to write on pen and paper a hell of a lot more. It certainly has helped me a lot, and I hope by, like, talking about this helps you feel better. Or if you know someone that needs to hear this testimonial, I guess is what it was, go ahead and share it with them. You know, let them know. But yeah, writing has really helped me lately. And it used to be something I used to do all the time. But back when I used to do it, I was so, like, my mindset was shit, to be honest. But, like, I've been working on my mindset since early 2019, and writing now feels a hell of a lot better than it did when my mindset was shit. So I'm going to be writing a hell of a lot more because I'll be in a lot better mindset. And I hope that whatever the fuck I was saying today in this episode helps you out, like it's helped me out. Let me know if it does. However the fuck you want to contact me. I don't know whether you're watching or listening to this. I'm not sure. I don't care. I just need to get stuff off my chest. And I need the most people to know it. So I'll do it either on video, and I'll do it on video and audio. So there. Like I said, just share it with someone, or if this helped you, that's great. If it can help someone else, that's great. I really just do this podcast to help me. And if by helping me, I can help someone else, that's fantastic. Have a great night, everybody. Or a great day, or a great morning. I don't know why the fuck I ended like this. I don't know how to end this. I hate this part, how I don't know how to end this fucking thing. Let's just get to the end credits. Hey, thank you so much for watching and or listening to the podcast today. I really appreciate it. If you watched it on YouTube, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and like the video. And if you listen to it on an audio podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to the podcast. And that's the bottom line. If you smell what the McTaggart Attack Podcast is cooking.